Hi guys, it is now 3:03 p.m. on Tuesday, and after I did the last video, which I had done the first day of the miracle tapping, I went upstairs because I knew I could, and I definitely still feel resistance to, self-care. But I ended up finding a tapping for releasing tears, which is helping that part of my brain, like, that is a normal thing, that is a healthy thing, right? And the guy in the video actually ended up, or no, I think it was in a comment, he talked about withdrawal, and so that was so cool that my last video was all about that. And so what I want to say, like mainly to myself, but to other people too, to encourage them, is if you are not taking any steps forward and you're just in bed and you're just replaying traumatic things over and over and over again, and so you're crying because of that, that actually is not productive or good for you, right? What's happening with me is I'm taking steps forward. So as I'm taking steps forward, all the stuff in contrast is rising up. And I'm reminding myself of that. Like, it's not my fault that my starting point is so dysfunctional, right? And if you ask me, like, if you were like drinking something or, like, would the emotion have come out? No, because I was literally doing a tapping. How am I saying this? I'm tapping into the very deep things that have blocked me in the past, right? And that's what he said too. Brad said that in the video. I think he said that about shining the light on the things that have kept us stuck. So, because one of the thoughts I had was, is this a productive use of my time? And it's like, yes, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this, like I said, to clear the crap that isn't mine, to continue to move forward in gigantic ways while not taking out on anybody, right? And I thought of it like clutter. These old beliefs are like clutter. So if you have a room in your house and it's, filled with crap, and even if it's not even your crap, it's, you inherited this crap, you closing the door on the room does not make the crap go away. It does not create more space in your house. You pretending it's not there does not create more space in your house, right? It's only when you go in and you get rid of the crap, And yeah, it's a lot like that. So I remind myself, like, at this very moment, yes, my back kind of hurts and my body kind of hurts, but that's because I'm still learning how to release emotion safely, like, meaning that it is safe, So that being said, I decided that every time that I release emotion as I'm taking a step forward or, doing a tapping about going for what I want, and the contrast rises up, that's a huge victory. It really is. So I came to that conclusion, which is really good. And then I did just now a meditation for health, like what I want. And I'm thinking about starting like a meetup group or something. It would have to be this summer, I think, but where, people can come, and I know there's like Al-Anon and stuff like that, and there's no judgment, but like those stories are really triggering for me, like in the book. And I want more of a place people can go in person and they can share their dreams and their goals and we can support each other in real time and give each other like hugs and stuff like that, and just have it be like a support group. It's almost like a joke nowadays, but I mean it, like a support group. I think that would be really cool, and that's something I could actually do. And I think I would be a really good leader of it, because obviously I, am learning how important emotions are. And I think I even said that in a previous video I did about how if I was a therapist, that's what I would do. Like, a type of therapy is when someone's having a flashback, is join them in there and support them. When someone has support, it doesn't turn into a trauma, you know? So I remind myself that if emotion's ready to come up, and it shows that because as you're just trying to move forward, it comes up, the healthiest thing you can do is feel it and release it, right? So I just keep reminding myself of that, because like I said, my starting point is it is even safe to cry, which is releasing the emotion. So it's having emotion about an emotion. And yet I am doing it, and I don't regret it. And it makes sense why things have been so backed up for so long. But like I said, it's like the cluttered room that's like, piled to the ceiling with other people's crap. It's like, I can pretend it's not there, but I'm not going to have that room in my house to use for my own personal joy until I get that crap out. And obviously it's different, because then you could just get a dump truck and toss all that. But I guess what I'm saying is, it can very easily turn into your brain saying, oh, we shouldn't have done that tapping, because look what the tapping caused. But the tapping didn't cause it. The old beliefs caused it. The tapping shined a light on old beliefs. Because someone else could do the tapping and be like, yeah, I deserve miracles. Of course I do. Right? So the fact that it caused tears in me, well, it caused the feeling of tears, but then the fear of tears as well, was like, ooh, that's what it is. And just uncovering those blocks and then releasing those blocks. So once again, it's all good. It's really hard when you have no support on it, but it is possible. And see, next week I can do this and feel exhausted afterwards and sleep for 3 hours because my daughter won't be here. But now I'm like, okay, I need to kind of get ready for her, coming back home. But I keep reminding myself, if I feel like I need to have like caffeine or something just to get through the day, I can do that. I'm not, there's these fears that aren't true. So that being said, that was a very productive use of my time and energy, and I'm really proud of myself for doing something that was good for me, despite the resistance. And also telling myself every time there's what feels like a breakdown, it's not a breakdown, it's just a release of emotions, but it feels like a breakdown, it always is followed by a massive breakthrough. So, and the frustration is that I even have to go through all this, but I don't have to. I choose to. And I choose to because I deserve my best life as anybody else does. So even if I'm starting in a different spot, and even if, with my whacker, I don't know what you call it. It's not a weed whacker, but whatever. Hacksaw? I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Even if the brush is thicker and I have to keep chopping, I will get there if I keep chopping. So the people are like, oh, well, don't even chop. It's like, but I want to, because I want to get there. And every time that I hit a ceiling, a so-called ceiling, that's exactly what happens is, oh no, emotion's going to come. But I think what the universe is doing is it's clearing out the people that were never meant for me to make room for the people that are meant for me. So that's the scariest part for sure. And that requires faith and trust. But I know I can do it because I'm doing it. So was today, an easy day? No. But was it a productive day? Yeah, it was. So I'm really proud of myself for going into the clouds again. Because like I said, every ounce of healing I get, like I earn, I achieve, is real, like natural, and I know it's permanent because I'm rewiring broken systems. I'm not broken, but the programs are long outdated. And I know that I could prevent the uncomfortableness if I stayed where I'm at, but I don't want to do that. My soul does not want to do that. My soul is like bursting through, like I said. So, and then because I did that, then when I did the meditation, that was able to come in much deeper, right? So I'm going to drink a bunch more water, and I'm just going to remind myself I did the right things. This is me kind of building myself up from the ground up. And realizing that the uncomfortableness is because, once again, I'm stepping out there. But that's what I want to do. So, anyway, okay, love you guys.